All right, let's talk about AI. But, without all the usual headaches, we're going to cut through the hype and the jargon and just give you a clear, practical guide on how you can actually use it in your business. So let's just dive right in. You know that feeling like you've completely missed the boat on this whole AI wave? Well, I've got some really good news for you. You haven't. This quote, I think it just hits the nail on the head. A lot of what you're seeing out there is just people pretending. Seriously, you are not behind. Okay, so first things first, let's just cut through all of that hype. Because let's be honest, most of the chatter around AI is just not helpful when it comes to the day-to-day of, actually running your business. Most of the hype seems to fall into one of three buckets, and none of them are very useful. First, you've got the cool demos, right? They look slick, but they don't solve a real problem. Then you've got the doomsayers, the alarmists, usually selling something, shouting about how AI is going to replace everyone. And of course, the jargon. Agentic workflow with RAG. It just leaves you feeling more confused than when you started. None of this helps. And this really gets to the heart of the issue. Look, just because we all have access to these incredible tools now doesn't mean we automatically know what to do with them. Having the hammer doesn't mean you know how to build a house. And that gap between access and understanding, that's what we're going to close today. So how should we think about this? Is there a way to frame AI that actually makes sense? Yes. I'm going to give you one simple, super powerful metaphor that I think will make it all click. From now on, I want you to think of AI as an intern. But before we dive fully into that intern idea, let's just get one thing straight. This is all AI really is. It's not a magical thinking machine. It's not conscious. It's software that has gotten incredibly good at spotting patterns in data, and then creating something useful based on those patterns. That's it. That's the whole magic trick right there. So let's go back to that intern idea. I want you to picture it in your mind. AI is the world's fastest, most eager intern. It never gets tired, it doesn't need coffee breaks, but just like any intern, it is absolutely desperate for your guidance. And this is why that metaphor works so perfectly. You know how it is, right? Give an intern or an AI crystal clear direction, and wow, it's a huge help. It can totally accelerate what you're doing. But what if you're vague? It will go off and do the wrong thing with complete confidence, and you end up with more work, not less. The output is always, always a reflection of your input. So if you want this to work for an intern or for AI, you have got to nail these three things. Number one, clear instructions. Tell it exactly what to do. Number two, provide good examples. Show it what done looks like. And number three, and this is a big one, you have to set up guardrails to keep it on the right path. And when you get that right, what can this amazing intern do? Oh, a ton. It can read a 50-page report and spit out the highlights in seconds. It can write a first draft of an email, a blog post, pretty much anything. It's a master at sorting data, spotting patterns you might miss, and handling all those boring, repetitive questions that eat up your day. See the common thread here? None of those tasks replace your judgment, your expertise, or your leadership. Not at all. The real win here, the core value, is just getting rid of the mental clutter in the busy work. It frees you and your team up to focus on the stuff that really matters. All right, we're just going to quickly tackle a few of the big buzzwords. You don't need to be a PhD, but knowing these will make you feel way more comfortable in any conversation about AI, I promise. First step, model. What is that? Simple. It's the engine. It's the brain behind the whole operation. When you hear names like GPT-4 or Claude, that's what they're talking about. The specific engine doing the heavy lifting. Next, prompt. That's just what you ask it to do. It's your instruction. And folks, the old saying has never been more true. Garbage in, garbage out. The quality of your prompt directly determines the quality of the result you get back. Okay, this one is super important to understand. Hallucination. This is when the AI just makes stuff up. It will totally fabricate facts, sources, quotes, but present them to you like they're gospel. It's your intern confidently being wrong. And that is exactly why you always need a human in the loop. And all of this leads to the number one rule, the one thing you absolutely cannot forget. AI needs guardrails. Always, period. It requires your review, your constraints, and your oversight. Okay, so we've got the concepts, we've got the jargon. Let's bring this into the real world. How does this actually look inside your business? Well, the funny thing is, you're already using it every single day. Seriously, you and your customers have been using AI for years. Think about it. When Google finishes your sentence for you, That's AI. The spam filter protecting your inbox? AI. How does Netflix know exactly what binge watch you're in the mood for? Yep, that's AI. It's not new, it just has a much friendlier face now. Now, in the business world, you're going to run into two main flavors of AI. On one side, you have the kind that predicts things, like spotting fraud or forecasting your inventory. That's usually called machine learning. On the other side, you have the kind that creates things, email drafts, summaries, marketing ideas. That's generative AI. And that's where most businesses are finding easy wins right now. So what does that look like? Let's take customer service, a perfect example. Imagine feeding an AI all your help guides and knowledge bases. Now it can answer all those common, repetitive customer questions automatically. So what happens? Your team gets to focus on the hard problems, and your customers get their answers instantly. It's a win-win. Or what about operations? We've all been there, right? You have that one person who knows how to do a critical thing, and it's all in their head. Well, you can just record them explaining it and have AI turn those messy notes into a clean, standardized checklist. Suddenly, that knowledge isn't trapped anymore, and bringing new people up to speed gets way, way easier. Now, notice a pattern here. These are not huge, change the whole company projects. They're small, focused wins. And that is absolutely the key. You start small because small wins build trust. They build trust in the tech, trust in the process, and trust with your team. All right, that brings us to the big question. The most important one, really. Where do you start? How do you actually take that first step without it feeling like this massive, overwhelming project? It all comes down to one single question. I want you to really think about this for your own business. Don't start by asking, what can AI do? Instead, ask yourself this. What is the most annoying, repetitive, soul-crushing task we have to deal with? Find the friction, find the bottleneck. Aim your AI intern at that one thing. Solve it, see the result, and then build from there. That is how you start. And that's how you make AI actually work.